Jesse Williamson. How you going, brother?
What's up, bro? Good. Thanks for having me. How you doing?
I'm not too bad, man. What are we, 4 weeks in now to the lockdown? 4 weeks?
Well, just over the 4 week mark.
It was supposed to
end today?
Yeah, Thursday today. So it was supposed to end last night. Or level 4 was supposed to end last night. So we're meant
to be 4 weeks today, so extending a little bit. Yeah, pretty keen to get out, to be honest. I mean, it's been good. It has been really good. Just it's given me time to do the things that I wouldn't usually do, like get little bits of admin done, contact people I haven't talked to in a while. So it's good. It's good.
I find one of the big things is for people, especially in our industry, it's like we can't chase the dollar at the moment. So now it's more about let's just do some creative shit that we've been meaning to do on the side. Even though we're stuck in a house. It doesn't really matter.
Yeah.
Just write some stuff down.
People like me and you are kind of fucked at the moment, really.
We're toast, bro. Got nothing to do. But I'm enjoying it. I mean, when they said we were going to go into lockdown in 2 days, like 4 weeks ago, I was like, sweet, I'm cool with it. It's a forced holiday, but not, and everyone else is in the same boat, so who gives a shit? But nah, man.
I'm not going to lie. I'm pretty keen to get back into work, because I obviously just came back to the country like maybe 2 weeks before lockdown started. So I didn't have any work. I didn't have anything lined up. And I kind of did have stuff lined up, but that was with radio. And then radio obviously went into a hiring freeze because of the landscape at the moment. So kind of got shoved to the back there. So for the first time in my life, proud as well on the benefit.
I got that little government handout, for the businesses, because I got my own business and I'm my sole employee, so I got a little helping hand, which was great actually. I'm digging into that now, but without that I'd be pretty toast. But one good thing is I haven't been spending money anyway, bro. Like otherwise I'd be out every weekend spending a couple $100 on nothing,
I know that's why I'm jealous of the people that still have their jobs and their income, because they're banking on all this cash that they can't spend. So they're going to be saving up a fortune. Well, you'd bloody hope so.
Yeah. Well, you'd think so, wouldn't you? But it'd be funny when we get back into it. Everyone's just going to spend large. Everyone's just going to be down to the pub.
Yeah, takeaways, Uber Eats.
Bro.
Yeah.
Well, Uber Eats taking like 30% commissions on stuff, man. Did you read about that?
I saw that. And I wasn't too happy about that, because I just signed up to be an Uber Eats driver as well, because coming out of this lockdown, I don't have a gig, bro. I don't have work. There's not much going. And I was like, well, if I'm going to be doing some sort of stuff in the background, if I could just become like an Uber driver, which I can't because my car's not new enough, I was like, I'll become an Uber Eats driver. It's like, teaching. If you can't teach, you teach PE, that kind of thing. Uber Eats isn't really looking too flash at the moment in the public eye.
So you worked in radio originally, didn't you? Before you went on The Bachelorette, you were a radio dude?
Yeah.
What sort of thing did you do
so
there?
Just worked between ZM and Hodaki, just as I wasn't dedicated to a show, but I sort of just helped with content across the whole station, and then I was an announcer as well, so just did the part-time on-air gigs, as the old radio jocks do, just filling in where you can. So hopefully get back into that soon, as soon as they can actually hire people.
Yeah, who knows, man? I mean, I read that NZME, who owns both those stations, they've got a few jobs, not massive, but they've had to like a lot of other businesses, they've had to, trim the fat a little bit. So it's going to be interesting getting back into it. But people still need to be entertained, man. So when we come out of this, I think a lot of us are just going to be bombarded with work, whether it's filming or voicing or radio or what the fuck ever's going on, Hopefully.
Yeah, exactly. And the industry we're in, bro, it's just gonna take off, because it's going through this absolute lull at the moment, which is why doing stuff like this, your podcast, is absolutely epic, because it gives people something. Well, it gives people a form of entertainment that they might not usually have, and everyone's got so much time on their hands, so being able to provide for people from your own home, like doing remote podcasts, is epic.
Yeah, I've been focusing a bit more on those stupid little videos I do on Instagram for the last couple of weeks.
I enjoy those. They are good. If you haven't seen Daryl's videos, you got to check out his Instagram and check those videos out. The latest one with the mo and the facial hair, brilliant, good.
That was so fun to do. It was funny trying to explain to Holly, my girlfriend, trying to explain to her why I was doing it in that order. Like, we're doing this one,
I can imagine.
now, and it's just trust me, it'll be fine. It was so much fun.
It'll be good.
It came out well.
Worked out well.
Yeah. So you're hoping to get back into radio later on, eh? After this, is that like what do you want to do, Jesse, when you grow up?
Well, I've always wanted to be in radio ever since I was at school. I wanted to be in radio, so I got into that. I'll get back into it after, and Lily and I are working on some stuff in the background together, which will hopefully launch within the next couple of weeks. And then I've also applied to be a marriage celebrant, so I've just sent that application off. So fingers crossed, I can start officiating sometime this year, which would be nice once weddings get back on track.
Is that the same as a JP? Justice of the Peace, or is that different?
Nah, so Justice of the Peace can't officiate a wedding. You have to be a qualified celebrant to that specific country. So yeah, if you and what's your missus name again? Sorry,
Holly. Yeah,
Holly. If you and Holly want to get married down the line, you know who to call. Well, would you rather have someone you know officiate your wedding, or would you rather a random like old lady that has no meaning to your wedding whatsoever, just there to sort of do the legal stuff and get out?
Oh no, totally someone I knew. It would be fun. But no, I'm thinking about that too. I'm like, oh man, I could totally do that. You could be like,
yeah, exactly.
Dude, it'll be random. Like, yeah.
Anyway,
that's a thought.
I think it'd be cool. Free piss, free food.
True. Every weekend during the summer. Sweet. So you're saying you and Lils are doing something together. Is it awkward though, bro? After the show and the way it went, that's like, because it was like you caught the feels, eh? Don't deny it. You caught the feels, and now you guys are good mates now, eh? Did you catch the feels, man? Come on, tell us the truth. What happened?
What's that?
Did you catch the feels though, or was it just all for TV, bro? We're just putting on an act.
Nah. In the moment, it was definitely what it was, and it was true and real. But straight up post show, we just realized, and she mentioned in the show as well quite a few times, that we were just like, she sees me as a really good friend, and we just get on so well. Like, we were like, what's the point of chucking that away? And because we got on so well, we were like, fuck, let's have some fun with this. Let's work together, and that's what we're doing. So we just got a few things in the background. Obviously, lockdowns put a halt to a few things that we wanted to do. But yeah, we're gonna come out guns blazing hopefully in the next couple of weeks. But man, she's rad. Richie's the man. I know people probably think it's fucking weird that the runner-up is now like, people probably think that I'm just secretly in love with her and this is my way to keep close to her, but nah, we're just good mates, and pretty excited, to be honest.
That's cool, man. It's kind of like just friends who have got a common interest, and you're both into radio stuff and media and all that sort of thing. Why not, man? Why not combine everything? Like, I'm hoping to do the same thing with a lot of you guys later on down the line, because I've got some projects and things coming up, and got a few things. I'll let yourself, can't say too much, just boiling away in the background there. And people like yourself, Steve, and a few of the other guys who I think would be quite good on TV. Why not, man? Put it all together and some
thanks
fun.
for the compliment, brother.
No worries, man. Absolutely. But no, Lily's a dag, eh, bro? Well, I've seen you guys, post show at a few parties, and you guys even came around to my place. Gee, you were there that night, eh? On the last.
Yeah, I was there that night. Yeah, that was an interesting night. So we basically, to let everyone know, we all went around to Daryl's house for maybe the third to last episode, so it was getting pretty heavy shit. And Richie was there, Lily was there. It was actually the night Terrence got sent home. Terrence was there. It was me, you, Steve. And so watching that back, because me and Richie were in a bit of a feud on the show at that time. So watching that back, like grabbing each other, holding each other, and just having a laugh. That was a fucking hoot, man. That was such a hoot.
It's so weird watching that shit back, eh? Because at the time, I was only on for a week, like nothing compared to you guys. I was on for a week, but still no idea how are they going to paint this, how are they going to edit this shit together, and watching it and watching how they told the stories, it was interesting. They were pretty accurate with the personalities. I thought they didn't paint anyone to be anything. They accentuated things like Glenn, for example. They accentuated his mediocrity and his personality, and they did the same for everybody, but they didn't make anyone blatantly look like they blatantly didn't make anyone blatantly look like they weren't. You know what I mean? Just accentuated.
I agree. Everyone said stuff that they would typically say in real life, stuff that might not be the best stuff, and great stuff as well. So I feel like everyone's true colors definitely showed in the best and worst light, which it's what we signed up for as well. Obviously there's stuff that happens in that bubble it's a challenging time. So to really reflect on it, it's I don't know. Like everyone does stupid shit, but we all were represented pretty fairly, I'd say.
Pretty fairly, eh? Yeah, no, that's pretty good. It was like a bubble, wasn't it? It was like a prerequisite to what we're going through now. except with the
Bro,
whole blokes.
New Zealand is going through exactly what we went through, except you didn't have your phone, you didn't have PlayStation, you were you were all vying for one person, and you had a bunch of other people that you're competing with in the same household. You couldn't leave the house. So I'm glad New Zealand's getting a bit of a taste of what we had, because it was fucking tough. It was tough,
hard,
man.
bro.
ISO sucks in the Bachelor world.
That was funny, man. It was weird that at the end of the show, it seemed like it was all about Lily, your group, like Lily, yourself, Richie, Terrence, and Quinn, and sort of Lucina's lot sort of drifted away. It didn't really amount for, and it didn't in the end. It didn't amount for anything, but it certainly changed during all.
Yeah, agreed. Because obviously it was just Lucina at the start, so it was very top heavy Lucina, obviously, because there was no one else. But I guess when they're editing that show, and she doesn't end up with anyone, I guess people want to see the fairy tale, right, of a couple ending up together. So they're going to capitalize on that more and show more of that. I agree. It was very Lily heavy towards the end, but I guess for good reason.
Absolutely.
But yeah,
it just felt like it was a bit of a false start, false start. Put Lucina in there, but here comes Lily, and it's going to end up being all that way.
And this is what it's all about. Yeah.
It was fascinating. Like I always say that being on that show, there was 2 shows you could make out of it. There was the reality TV show that we were on, and then there's also like this fascinating documentary on human psyche that you could also do, bro? Like the way people think. Oh
yeah, big time.
In such an odd situation. Like watching guys
spin-off
alpha each
show
other
to something like that would be incredible.
I was like, man, you could totally do this. I was keen just to have other producers and say, you know what? Could we do this? I'll host it. It'll be great. Or, voice over it and shit. Because there were some weird things coming out of all that. Especially, they say, like, obviously the alpha male stuff was an easy one to sort of spot, and then there was the way the guys sort of bonded as well. Like, it's almost unexpected, but when you watch it, it's like, well, of course that's going to happen, because we, as the guys, spent a lot more time together than with the girls.
Exactly. You spend your whole day with these guys. Like you actually hardly spend any time with the girls at all. So like it's a given that you're going to be growing up with these guys, and I think that was the producer's biggest challenge, is actually getting us out of our like bromance and being like, I remember sitting in one of my interviews one day with one of the directors, and she was like, Jesse, she was like, surely you have to be fucking pissed off that you're not out there on a date today. You can't just be happy for whoever it was, Quinn, out on his date. And I'm like, I'm happy for the bro. Like, what do you want me to say? I'm happy for him. We all got to get our time. So they really tried pinpointing that stuff. But I mean, it was a massive bromance. And yes, people talk shit about each other and stuff like that, but that's also going to happen too. It's a pretty unusual environment, but yeah.
It's a tight environment, and got cameras around you as well, and you just
it's so intense. I do recommend the opportunity though. Like if anyone is ever thinking about doing it, I thought I like people could look at me and be like, holy shit, like you got your heart torn out and all that kind of stuff. And yeah, I did come second place, but the experience was absolutely incredible. Like you get to do things that not many people would ever do in their lifetime, and then like the prize at the end is either you're walking away with someone that you're gonna fall in love with, or you're walking away with a bunch of mates. So regardless of the outcome for anyone, whether you got kicked off at the start of the show or the end of the show, I think it's an experience that I loved, and I'd definitely recommend.
That was something that I quite liked as well. You're right, absolutely right. It's an experience. It's like nothing you'll ever do again. It's like, it's like a weird sort of bucket list thing. But in the end of it, you end up with these mates, and you went through such an odd situation together that you're going to have mates for life. You know what I mean? Like I guarantee.
And you're always going to share that.
Yeah, exactly. And you can always come back, and we can all be away from each other for 10 years and come back again and say, fuck, remember that time we were on that stupid TV show in Caracas and going to Argentina and all that sort of shit. Speaking of which, why the
and how cool to have like that whole thing documented, to be able to show your kids and show like your friends down the line and stuff, to be like, this is what I did, and like that's your Uncle Steve there, like
Uncle Steve.
This is how we met.
That's so
It'll
true.
be Cordell Steve by that time, but
bro, tell me about it, eh? Fucking hell, he's a party animal, that boy, man.
He's a unit. I can't wait to catch up with him,
I've been watching. He's going stir crazy, bro. Like I've been messaging him every once in a while, every other day. and having yarns, and he is just like amped. You can see him. He's getting bored. He's shaving his hair off. He's just fucking doing anything. But there's only.
Speaking of shaving hair off, though,
he did it too.
I'm also one of the Muppets that got bored and shaved their head.
Yeah, he wanted
bit of fun.
Steve wanted me to do it as well, and I was like, "Oh no, I don't know if I'll do that, bro." If I was single, absolutely.
Come on. Yeah, the more reason for you to do it, because you who are you trying to impress? You've already got your girl.
True. It's so true. Tell you what, no matter what, I'm banging for a haircut, man. It is ridiculous.
Yeah.
It is getting furry on the outside.
I bet a lot of people are, eh? But that's one thing that's going to be a while away as well as hairdressers. That's definitely not happening in level 3. I reckon we're in this level 3 for a long time. So
you reckon?
Yeah, I reckon we're in it for a while. I don't know. There's just so much hard work that's gone into getting it to where we are. To then go back on that, I think it would be silly. But
would be weird, eh? No, because they've given it 2 weeks. They've given it till the middle of May. Yeah, there's a strong possibility, eh? I mean, if they haven't cracked the no new cases by then, may as well just keep going. I mean, I don't care. It's fine.
Yeah, exactly. I'm happy. We can just keep doing this. We'll just chat every day.
Yeah, exactly. It's just, you get a lot of people sort of being selfish about the whole thing. They're like, oh no, we're losing money and da-da-da-da-da. Bro, everyone's losing money. Don't worry about it.
Everyone's losing money. I don't even have any money. I've got $30 in my bank account, and I'm not ashamed to say it. I am at the bottom of the chain here. So, and I'm loving life. You know, you just got to make the most out of situations. That's what I try to do.
Yeah, man. So you just came back from Canada recently, hey? In the last few months.
Yeah.
You
and
did too, because we all had they thought you gave us fucking corona, you prick.
Yeah, literally, I put half of New Zealand media into a bloody frenzy over going into isolation because everyone thought I had the coronavirus, because I did the right thing, went and got tested, and then I told Lily that I was getting tested, and she didn't really think about it and told one of the publicity chicks at TVNZ. Obviously, publicity at TVNZ are going to be like, holy shit, we need to do something about this. Boom, there's an article in the Herald. Boom, article and stuff.
Mate,
and,
it took hours within that same day. Like, the articles were like springing up all over the place, eh? It was nuts.
Oh, it was ridiculous. I kind of felt bad, but it was kind of funny at the same time, because I mean, I had Jeremy Wells not on 7 Sharp because of me, because I had seen him on the Friday. I had breakfast shows doing their radio shows from home because they couldn't go into work because I'd interacted with them, all for nothing as well. So,
well, you know, if it turned out that you did, you would have been a hero.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? You went and got tested. You did the right thing. But I was going to say, so you came back from Canada recently. So you didn't have any jobs or anything lined up really when you got back here. So you haven't got a flat or anything. Are you staying with the olds? What are you doing?
No, I'm actually living with my mate and his missus. So got some pretty cheap rent there, which is pretty epic, and we've got a great little crew. So yeah, isolation. I would have gone crazy with my family, to be honest. I would have gone nuts. Yeah, I would have gone crazy. Yeah,
we were sort of tossing up. It was like, do we stay here by ourselves, or do we go to the missus' parents or my parents? And I'm like, family, no. 4 weeks with our families.
Not for that long. No way.
No way, bro. But no, what have we been doing? DIY. Just DIY, man. We've painted the house completely.
DIY? Yeah, I saw that. Painted the fence, maybe? Or
way more. Painted the fence, painted the whole house, 3 layers of... It's this beautiful charcoal grey now, the house, and I was pretty stoked.
Nice.
I never thought I'd like DIY. I'm not really a working man, you know? I get
that's the thing. And you've been enjoying it, right?
Yeah, it's great. Because there's nothing else to do. And this is this is a thing. And now I'm like, I might fix that. I might do that. It's good. I'm enjoying it. So I'm
exactly. And so that's opened you up to something else that you've never done before, and when would you have ever had the time to paint your fucking house, you know?
Exactly. So I'm going to host the block next, I'm reckoning. I'm going to be... Imagine that.
That'd be good. I heard that's a hellish show to be on.
Yeah, I worked on it on camera many years ago, because we used to do like drones and all that when drones were first a thing, and it's pretty full on. Yeah, they're pretty intense on that show. Just anything. I don't know how much work they actually do, man. It's all like the crew around them. They just point. Yeah,
surely there's people. Surely there's sparkies and builders and plumbers doing all the work. Hey, they're just there for show.
They just do the challenges, bro. That's funny, man. Yeah. Reality TV's weird, man. Like I never wanted to be on it. I never wanted to be involved with it. And then when I got called up to be on the show, it was like, shit, why not? You know, I can't just be going around saying I hate the show, and there's an opportunity to actually go on there and represent people who don't really watch this sort of stuff. So, give it a nudge. It was fun. Met all you guys, had a great time.
Yeah.
No, it's good, man. But,
exactly. And here we are.
And here we are. Dang, good. So what have you been doing to entertain yourself during the COVID?
Oh, honestly, like trying to do some exercise. Going to the grocery store.
It doesn't sound very successful, Kaz. What's going on?
No, my brother's got some home workouts that he's been giving me, which I've been giving a crack, which has been good. Going to the grocery store probably too many times. Just to sort of get out of the house. I did have a fucking interesting experience the other day though when we were going to the grocery store. Yeah. Long story short, we saw this chick on the side of the road, and this is just a reminder to people as well. Like, this is a pretty tough time for families and whatever might be going on in households, you know. And we picked up this chick on the side of the road because she had no shoes on, she was crying, she had blood on her arms, and we're like, fuck, what the hell is going on here? Yeah, I know, it was actually pretty hectic. And then she said, oh yeah, can you just drop me home please? My ex just stole my baby and kicked me out of a moving car. So here's me like, fucking hell, this has turned into something more serious than I thought. Yeah. Next minute, the ex is driving past us in another car, staring at us, and we're like, shit, we're gonna get in trouble here. She ducks down. She's like, fuck, I gotta get out of the car. This is more dangerous for you guys than it is for me. So she bolts out of the car, and we're like, what the heck is going on here? So for the next 15 minutes, I'm on the phone to the cops, and we're trying to find this car and figure out what the hell's going on, and just like see if this chick's all right. But yeah, it was a shame that she jumped out of the car, because I mean, it's in the cops' hands now and stuff like that. But that was probably the most interesting thing that's happened to me in lockdown, because between exercise and going to the grocery store, nothing really happens.
It's funny when you say going to the grocery store too much, because I would be the same as you if I was single. I'd be like constantly to the grocery shop because I'm bored, and I like just go and buy fresh chickens and eat those. Yum. But we've been quite domesticated, eh, man? It's like get all the meat for the week and get all this. Like, oh my god, I haven't been like this since I lived at home, man. It's strange.
Yeah, it's nice to have the routine though. I've been baking as well. Baked a basic bitch banana cake, and I did a banana bread yesterday. So yeah, just ticking that off the old isolation list.
Bro, we done the same thing, man. We had banana cake, basic bitch banana cake, a couple of carrot cakes.
Oh, nice.
There was some lemon cake. It was good. I haven't had so many carbs in my life, man. I'm anti-carb. Yeah,
I know.
Like, there's nothing else to do.
That's the thing. You get bored, and you just boredom eat. It's the only thing to do. I didn't realize that baking a banana cake was like the trendy thing to do, though. I just did it because I like banana cake, and then I got hit up, and I was like, oh, so you're part of the trend now, hey? And I was like, oh, well, I just wanted bloody banana cake. Don't shoot me down for it.
I've been practicing the barbecue skills as well, man. Like doing some some pork ribs, and just trying stuff out, just getting ready for it. These are all the things that you don't normally have time to do it in real life. So it's like, I might as well just learn and try this stuff out and experiment.
Yeah, capitalize on it while you can. It's like your DIY, right?
Yeah, totally. You never know what's going to come out of it. Actually, what else have you been upskilling on? Anything else? No. Because you brought that microphone and stuff just before this, eh?
Yeah, so I bought a couple podcast microphones because, well, I mean, it's turned out handy now. This is the first time I've actually used it. Really? But I bought them just in case stuff like this came up, and then a few projects working in the background that we've delayed till level 3. So I mean, just trying to keep busy. I have a Chinese yo-yo. I don't know if you've seen it on my Instagram.
No, bro.
Do you not know what a Chinese yo-yo is?
No,
it's like a thing with two sticks with like a big sort of yo-yo looking thing. It's called a Diablo as well. Yeah. So I've just been just going hard on that, trying to practice that. And I've been watching Money Heist, bro. If you haven't seen Money Heist, you got to get onto Money Heist on Netflix.
Money Heist, is it a movie or a TV show?
Money Heist. No, it's a TV show about a bank robbery in Spain, and it's in Spanish, which I thought was going to be a bloody challenge because I don't watch stuff with subtitles, but it is seriously killer. It is probably the best TV show I've ever seen, and it's not even in English.
Bro, I have a look. Well, I just finished. I've seen the thumbnail for that, and I watched the trailer for it. It does look good. It looks well produced. Yeah, but for me,
very very well produced.
Yeah, I'm like you though. Like subtitles, it's like, oh, it's an investment. You know, am I going to dig into that?
Yeah, you really got to concentrate. Like, you can't be having a few drinks and like chatting to people. You got to be fully zoned into it. Yeah. I tried watching with the dubbed over audio. Some people do that, but it's just shit, man. Like, it doesn't line up. It's fucking too hard, too tough to watch.
And you don't really get the expression right. You know what I mean? The voice never quite
exactly.
matches the expression, and that's the part that I like because I want to see actors act. I don't care what language it's in. Because I just watched Narcos Mexico. I just finished that bad boy, and that's a good show, man. Get into that. That is really, really good.
I heard that's similar with this whole subtitles in the Spanish as well. I heard Narcos is pretty good.
It's really, really good, and it's ruthless, man. And I don't have to do another season because they ended before the El Chapo thing started up. But it's such a good show. I loved it. But have you seen that Tiger King?
Oh, bro. Oh, I really didn't want to give it a chance. I really didn't want to. And then I watched an episode and I was hooked.
You can't get away from it.
I was hooked. Oh, you can't. It's fucking unreal. The dude's an absolute lunatic.
Yeah, I was impressed with how it was made. They're all lunatics, but I was impressed with how it was made because you watch that first episode and you think you get hooked by that. But then every ep, there was something new to get hooked onto. Like, and I think it was episode 3, it was like, comes out, did Carol kill her husband? And you're like, what the fuck? Now I'm really hooked. And you got to like carry on, you know?
I know, it's the most bizarre shit in the world, eh? Well, that's the question then. What do you reckon? Did she kill her husband?
Oh, I reckon she did, man. I reckon.
You reckon she did?
I reckon she did. There's something about the way she answers questions and stuff. When you read her body language, I'm just like, no, man, she totally did it. I reckon she totally did it. I don't know.
Yeah,
and the evidence,
one.
They've reopened the case because of that doco, eh?
Yeah. Which is interesting because she gave that doco a lot, and now it's sort of backfiring in a way that it's put the spotlight on her. So if they do find something, then she's completely fucked.
Mind you, I think they say things like they've reopened it, but I think it's just marketing, man. I reckon it's just like, not everyone's watched this documentary yet. They've heard about it. They know a little bit about it. Let's open up, the files again, and that'll get more people interested. I don't know. It sounds like bullshit.
The whole thing's probably a marketing scheme. Yeah. Look, me and you were talking about it.
Totally. That's funny as fuck, though, man. Joe Exotic, man.
It is good.
Never go full Joe Exotic. That's some funny shit. If you were to do a reality show again, what one would you do?
Oh, that's a tough question, bro. I've always wanted to do Amazing Race, The Amazing Race. I reckon that would be epic, just because it's another cool experience that you'd never get to the chance to do in your everyday life, Yeah. But I wouldn't do another dating show. I've done 2 dating shows. I'm not doing another one. There's no way.
You've done 2 dating shows.
I can. Hopefully I can pick up by myself now. Surely. Yeah. Surely. I did First Dates New Zealand a couple years ago. That's our chaperone Candice. She was the director of that. That's how I actually got onto the Bachelorette.
Yeah.
I was. She asked me to come on, so.
Oh, right on. Candice, bless her heart.
Yeah.
Yeah, Amazing Race. Oh, the memories.
Oh, fuck. Oh, shit.
That was such an awkward moment.
There. Oh, my God.
That was so weird.
And carrying on.
Hi, Candice. How you going? I was going to say, Amazing Race would be fucking amazing. Steve and I applied for the Aussie one. Just after our show, we applied for it in January, but there's no way they can do it now. Not with COVID and all that, because they were going to start shooting in July, or was it? Anyway, soon. There's one playing now, Australia Amazing Race, but they must have filmed that last year.
Yeah, I saw that. They must have been last year.
Last year's one.
Yeah, I can't imagine they'll be filming one of those for a while. It kind of defeats the whole purpose of the situation at the moment.
Kind of miss traveling to a degree, eh? But it's a good chance to explore New Zealand, I guess.
Well, that's the thing. That's what everyone's been saying. It's such a good, because we live here, people don't really take advantage of, a lot of people I know haven't been to the South Island, and the South Island is absolutely incredible. Yeah. So many places to go. Yeah. So it's a very cool opportunity for people to just focus on New Zealand and get down around those Kiwi places. Yeah. And I mean, that's going to be supporting local businesses and our economy anyways. So it's going to be a good way to rebuild as well. Yeah. Yeah. And we're all going to need to go on holiday. And obviously, you're right. They need money, they need to be supported, so we should just be supporting our own, because we have to. We can't do anything now. We're stuck here. I reckon we're going to be there's going to be geographic lockdown, I reckon, for at least 8 months. Oh, at least.
No one's traveling anywhere. If they're lucky, we'll be opened up to Aussie again, because they're doing all right, and hopefully the islands, because a nice Fijian trip would be nice. Nice little getaway to Samoa, Fiji.
Escape in the winter. I'm not keen for another New Zealand winter. Well, not in Auckland, anyways.
No. Are you still doing the skiing? Or no, snowboarding? You still boarding?
Well, I will go boarding. Yeah, I'll go boarding as much as I can, probably down Ruapehu. If we can fly to Queenstown, I'll head down to Queenstown and stuff like that. Yeah. But it's going to be interesting because like a place like Queenstown basically runs off tourists like running the town, whether it be on the mountain or in cafes and stuff. Yeah. So I mean, local businesses and just like the ski resorts in general are probably going to struggle to find workers, which will be interesting if they open.
Well, what they should do is they should cheapen it all. They should all make it like local price. They have a local prices. You know, and just attract more New Zealanders to go down. Otherwise, we're not, because a lot of us are like, why would I pay that much money? And why would I pay tourist
it's like
prices?
$160 for a day pass.
That's
you know,
mental.
it's absurd, especially if you're going for a couple of days and you got flights, accommodation. It's not the average, especially coming out of something like this where people have lost a lot of money. It's not like people are going to be rolling around in cash for the next couple of months. You know,
exactly. So they need to probably half to 75% all their prices and just get us down there and it'll be fun. I mean, that's the other thing too. It's not all about the money. I mean, you just get a bunch of Kiwis down there and actually get us doing those things that we haven't done, like going to the South Island or seeing. Some people I know still haven't seen snow, and they're like in their early 30s. It's like, dude, open it up, have some fun.
Jump in a motorhome and take off. Like, it's the perfect country to do so. Like, there's so many freedom camping spots. It's just such an easy country to be able to do that sort of thing in, which is mad.
Yeah. What's the thing you're looking forward to most when we come out of this?
Bro, KFC.
Really?
And that's not a shameless plug like Terrence used to do on the show, trying to get free KFC, which did work for him because we had a viewing at your house where we got free KFC because of Terrence. But yeah, KFC, bro. It's my favorite favorite takeaway, and I'm pumped to get it.
I'm the same, bro. I'm the same. KFC. Every time we drive past, and you get it's the greatest marketing campaign ever. Just release the smell. And
the smell. I'm pretty sure they just have massive industrial sized fans sitting on the sides of the road, like K's down, and they're just like pumping out. Smell of chicken.
The smell is so damn good.
It's so good.
For me, it's KFC or Burger Fuel. I'm looking forward to Burger Fuel.
Oh, good call. Yeah. Very good call on Burger Fuel.
There's one just down the road.
I've actually applied to be a pizza boy, as well as an Uber Eats driver. So I've applied with Pizza Hut, and it's also delivering KFC. So I'm going to start that next week, which will be interesting because I need some sort of income, you know.
Bro, we should you should get those jobs and we should film you doing it. You should talk to them and say, I was on this and this and this. And then I'll turn up and film the behind the scenes of it and just follow your little journey around doing all these random jobs.
I thought about that. I thought there was like a content side of it, but at the same time, it goes against what we're supposed to be doing with the whole distancing and staying home if you don't have to be out and all that kind of stuff. So, I mean, maybe post level 3, level 2, there's a bit of an opportunity there, but we'll see how we go.
Yeah, that's true. It would have to be level 2. What does level 1 look like? Level 1's nothing. Hey, level 1 is we're all good.
Level 1's, basically nothing. Yeah, basically. It's just like social distancing where you can, that sort of carry on.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. Why? What are you most excited for? What are you going to do first?
Get drunk.
Aside from food? Yeah.
Just hang out with mates, man. Like, it's just been the two of us the whole time. I was lucky enough I had to do a job over at Radio News. Where was it? News Talk ZB on Easter. We did the Easter show. So I got to actually go in and hang out with people, keeping the 2 meter thing and all that. And but it was just nice to see people and to hang out and, you know,
human interaction.
Yeah, Petra Beggars and people like that all came in and we're just all hanging out and having a laugh and just talking about how silly the whole situation is. So I did get one day of comms with other people, but mate, I'm a social dude. I think we all are.
Yeah.
You know, we all need other people in our lives, and it's going to be good just to hang out with others and have a beer and just feel relaxed. You know what I mean? Be able to just hang.
And that's why I think it's going to be like something like this has been pretty good for New Zealand and the world, you know, because we've been deprived of the basic things we take for granted in life. So people are going to come out. They're going to be wanting to go to work. They're going to want to go see their friends and make an effort and do this and do that because, like, I don't know, life's too short, man. You get it all taken away from you for 4 weeks and you're like, fucking hell, I actually really enjoy doing that stuff. And people are going to come out enthusiastic. I think it's going to be a really good outcome for New Zealand as a whole, which is pretty exciting.
I think so too, and I think we should be looking at, you know what, we don't need to work so much. You know what I mean? Like, we've been in lockdown, we can do a lot of things remotely now, and we should take more advantage of that. And there's more to life than just getting out there and busting your ass and working, 80 hours a week. You can actually relax a little bit and have some fun. And you're right. And it's appreciating the things that we have around us, the people that we have around us, and actually just relaxing and having some fun and chilling. Because you can tell when you're going out and people are always like wired. They're thinking about work or they're thinking about something else. And it's just like, just try not to, man. Life's short. It can all be taken away from us in a minute. We could get another virus any moment. and we're all stuck indoors again.
Exactly.
You know,
and stress is such a big killer as well. So people, if they could just work from home for 2-3 days a week to reduce that stress level, that's huge, man. The communities would just be so much more positive, and I feel like there'd be a lot more good in the world for sure.
Starting your day in 40 minutes of traffic is the worst way to start any day, man.
Shittest thing in the world. I used to do that every day for school, hour and a half there, hour and a half back. It was killer.
Nah, but you just get wound up, man. You go, and you walk in and you're already pissed off, you know, because your senses are all going 100 miles an hour when you drive in the first place. But then when you're driving, you've got morons on the road, or everything's going slow. Oh no, it's been so cool. The little bit of driving that I've been doing, haven't driven much, but the little bit of driving that I've been doing, it's just like, man, this is awesome. Just
so good,
no stress.
I know.
It's good.
No traffic, no waiting at lights, and just no horns on the road. Like no one's getting angry.
Yeah.
It's nice.
Whereabouts are you staying? You're on the shore, eh?
Yeah, I'm on the North Shore in Auckland. So yeah, it's been pretty cruisy. We've got a few beaches that are local as well. So as soon as level 3 hits, going to be hitting up those beaches. You know, getting a bit of salt in the hair.
Yeah.
Nice.
It'll be nice, eh? It was funny how everyone didn't know what to do. It was like, can we go to the beach? Can we go on our boats? Can we go fishing? All these people with like tons of cash trying to take their boats out. It's like, nah, man. Nah, stay home.
I got a couple of mates with boats, and they're fuming that they can't go out on them next week. But it's like, just stick it out. You can go fish off the rocks. Oh, not off the rocks, off the wharf if you want to, you know. Like there's still stuff you can go and do.
Yeah. Just to get that sort of, fix that you need. No, it's quite funny. Yeah. No, I went for it when I did that radio show in town. That was right in the middle of town. So at the end of it, I finished at about 6 or about 5, and I went for a drive down Queen Street, and it was weird, man. Like cruising around the main streets with no one there. It's trippy. There was a few buses still doing their routine, but apart from that, no cars. Very few walkers. I was surprised. I thought I'd see a lot more. Because a lot of people living in town now. But no, it's weird, man. It's like a zombie film.
I kind of wanted to do that drive just up Queen Street for the sake of it, but I would be breaking the rules, so I didn't. But obviously you got the opportunity to go into town, which is sick. But that's another interesting point that I thought about lockdown, is because I'm single, right? Yeah. So, and there's a lot of people that are obviously single, maybe living at home with their parents or in a flat where they don't have like access to another person, so to speak. And do you reckon it'd be more beneficial? No, not beneficial. Do you think it'd be better being in a relationship or better being single in a time like this? Well, you got to choose your words carefully.
Nah, fuck it. If you're talking about getting laid, I don't know, bro. I think like being in a relationship and being stuck in this situation comes with its own stresses. So obviously, because you're in each other's face all the time, there is the the added benefit of being with someone you love and being able to, fornicate and all that sort of carry on. But if you're single, then there's the other problem. It's the complete opposite. You've just got your own time, your own thoughts in your head, and that starts to get boring pretty quickly. And then, there's only so many times you can jack off in a day. So,
Oh, trust me. I know.
Should we get Logan on the phone? Logan, tell us about your...
Fucking hell. I hope he did a count, eh? That guy loves a cheeky tug. Loves a cheeky tug.
Or a couple on the first night.
Yeah.
That was weird. Do you remember that? Bro,
I do remember that.
Strange cat. That dude's funny, man. Yeah. He's just the one being open about.
Love you, Logan. He's a great dude, but he does love a cheeky tug with a bit of hand cream. I mean, so do I. Fuck, I think I've gotten over it though, because I've been stuck in here for so long, and I've just sort of, when you get bored as a male, you sort of just do your thing.
Get a bored tug on.
But now I've gotten to the point where I'm like, fuck, don't know if I can be bothered, it's just like same old shit. I need to spice it up. I'm kind of jealous of everyone in a relationship, to be honest.
They can fool around, they can try things out, it's just like,
but it is a great time to put in some groundwork if you're a single person. I mean, when are you ever going to have this time to message someone and take the time and get to know them before I don't know, like all your Tinder goers and stuff like that?
There must be a massive influx of dick pics out there right now, eh, man? Just sending shit around. You show me yours, I'll show you mine. Please.
I saw something online about maybe Snapchat or something, seeing an influx, because obviously they can see what's happening,
Yeah.
but an influx of like nudes being sent around and shit. I mean, good on people.
Yeah,
Fuck it.
fuck it,
If
man.
you feel if you want to, you're being deprived of what you're like born to do, you know.
Yeah.
And if you want to sort of spice it up and mix it up a little bit whilst you can, fuck it, why not?
And then hats off to people too. Some people have beneficial friends, and they've decided no. I'm not going to break the rules. I'm going to stay home. So good on them. So if they can do things remotely like podcasting, let's go ahead and do it.
Yeah, exactly.
Why not?
Yeah, I know. What's the difference between people sending dick pics and me and you doing a podcast remotely? You know, like it's the same thing, but just from a distance.
Yeah, we're just not turning each other on. It's great.
Not saying that I send dick pics either.
Come on, Jesse.
maybe a couple.
I bet Steve sent a few dick pics, hey?
Oh, mate, definitely. Can you imagine how many fucking pairs of tits Quinn's seen though? Man, I would love to see that man's DMs right now. I would love to.
He was a favourite, man. Fuck, he was a favourite with the woman, eh? He was a cracker.
Oh, he is a top bloke. He'll be lapping that shit up for sure.
Shit,
I got 2 nudes, to be honest. Post show, I got 2 nudes, but they were pretty whack.
Oh, really?
Not the type that you'd expect to get. So this one chick. So I did an interview on ZM on the breakfast show, and they asked me had I been sent any nudes, and I said no. And so this chick was listening, and she obviously was like, well, if he's not getting sent nudes, I'm going to send him some.
Yeah.
But decided to put a bit of a spin on it, and she sent me a photo of her self with her tits out, and she had edited the photo of her with her tits out into the middle of a bukkake. And if you don't know what a bukkake is, it's when a group of males stand around in a circle with one person in between, and that's the thing that they shower them with kindness. Exactly. So she went to the effort of editing herself into the middle of this and then sent it to me, and I said, is this actually you? And I went onto her profile. It was the chick. I was like, you're fucked.
You are special. Oh my god.
It was something else. And then she sent me another one. She had drawn like a cartoon character onto her boob and used the nipples as like eyes and stuff like that, and then sent it to me as well. So I mean, she's getting creative in lockdown. You got to do something,
Right,
right?
too right. I mean, and hats off to them too. I mean, you can easily send a pair of tits, but if you're going to be creative with it, there's something more about that, you know? She's also showing a bit of
She's got time on her
personality.
hands, you know. It's,
Why not?
yeah, exactly. But yeah,
I wouldn't draw eyes or anything above my knob and send it to anybody. I don't think that's such a attractive idea.
I wouldn't do it again. That was hard, tough times.
I think some of the boys like down in those smaller areas like Quinn. Where is he? He's Hawke's Bay?
He's Hawke's Bay. Yep.
Yeah, it'd be nice to be down there, eh? It would be nice to be out in the Wops during this time.
Yeah, it would be.
'Cause you're looking at
a bit of farmland.
Yeah, because you got the city and you're looking out, and it just feels sort of sad and dead. But in the country, you can't really tell because you've got no neighbours.
No,
I'm assuming.
no,
so.
everything's better in the countryside. That was like over on. In Argentina as well. We were in the city in this mansion, which was really nice, and it was tough. But as soon as we went out to the mansion in the countryside, same shit, different day, but we're in the countryside, and it just made it so much better. It's just so good for the mind and soul, you know.
Yeah, you guys looked like you were getting pretty bored in that city because it was a narrow little place, eh? You know, but still, Argentina, fuck, it would have been cool. I was a bit gutted I didn't get to go with you cunts. It's so good.
Oh, I know. Well, a month in Argentina was epic, but at the same time, like, we didn't get to see, like, if you spent a month in Argentina on your own, you'd see a lot, you know.
Yeah.
But we didn't really get to see much apart from each other every day. So
Was the crew very big in Argentina?
yeah, huge surprise. It was probably like 30 crew.
No shit.
And yeah, in Argentina, it was ridiculous. I was surprised at how many came. Like they were all basically there the whole time as well. It was insane.
Wow, that's heaps. Do they have any locals working on it, or is it just all Kiwis?
Nah. Oh, I mean, apart from the like liaisons, to translate and get them around the city and stuff like that. But apart from that, all the camera crew, all the directors, etc., all Kiwis.
Yeah. Oh, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, all came from here.
Pretty cool.
Yeah,
I'm surprised how many people they took over, but I suppose they have to really. Because I was talking to a few people here and they said they weren't going. And I just thought, they must be really stripping down to a skeleton crew for this. But they took a big lot over.
Yeah, they just had an extra large crew in Auckland.
Yeah, it's quite an under.
They would have been.
Are you going?
Oh, I was going to say, like that first night, as you remember, walking out of the car, obviously not as intimidating for you because you weren't there to sort of pursue anyone. Yeah, you're a fake. you don't count. But walking out of that car, there's like fucking 35 crew, 40 crew, and
huge.
it was intimidating. It was a massive operation, huge operation.
Yeah. And had the camera crane and the sliders and all that sort of shit, and then assistants for each camera guy and blah 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 blah. Yeah, it's weird. It was bizarre for me because I work behind the camera normally, and to actually walk out and know half the crew, and then they could see them all looking at me going, "What the fuck is Daryl doing here?" I'm like, "Hey, he's too old to be here. He's 40." I'm like, "Hey, what do you know?" Hey.
It's that dude from what's that show? The late night
Big Breakfast.
Breakfast.
That's Lee Hart's mate. Yeah. How's it going? Yeah, no, you're
See,
right.
I'm surprised I didn't pick up on you because I used to watch Late Night Big Breakfast because I used to work with Lee Hart and stuff.
Yeah.
And I knew your face from the show, and I'm pretty sure I remember talking to you about it as well.
You did.
Saying I knew you from the Late Night Big Breakfast. So the fact that I didn't pick up on you being a mole shows how much trust I had in you.
Well, that was the thing. Like they asked me when I took the gig on, they said, "Oh, do you want to create a persona or something?" And I'm like, "Nah. If I go on and I'm like Bob the Builder, someone's going to be a builder, and I'm going to get found out because I don't know shit about that." And as you say, like people would recognize me from that shit, and also I'm confident in front of cameras more so than 40 majority of the guys on the show. So it might be a little bit suspicious. So no, I'm just myself. I'm Daryl, actor, voice dude. Otherwise people would have just been like, "Nah, clearly he's a mole. He's dancing in front of the camera. Look at him." He's doing a boogie. Nah, that was fun though. It would have been the only ratchet thing about the Karaka stuff was the weather, man. Like the weather was pretty toast over that time.
Such a nice place and just such shitty weather. Typical Auckland weather. That's the one thing I don't miss about this place. I love Auckland because it's home, but the weather, it's just tough. I remember looking at the forecast that you guys had last year, in July and August. It was like 56 days of rain over 60 or something stupid.
That's right. Yeah, we had
something ridiculous.
It's been pretty dry this summer though. Like we've had a few days of rain here over the last. This whole period, this 4-week period's been pretty dry, really. The first 2 weeks were sunny as.
Yeah, I got to admit that's definitely helped with the isolation, as the weather. Because if it was raining the whole time, that'd just be pretty depressing, to be honest.
Yeah. But, shit, yeah. Are you going to invite anybody into your bubble next week when you're getting into level 3?
Well, yeah, so Lily and I obviously want to get this stuff on the road with what we're doing together.
Yeah.
And the guidelines are that if you're a couple, as her and Richie are, like isolated by yourselves, then you can bring someone in to like talk to and hang out with and stuff like that. They said you can do it like get people from a couple different households, which is interesting.
Yeah.
That's in the actual guidelines too. But yeah, so I think they might come into my bubble, and then that bubble stops there. So we'll keep it exclusive, play by the rules. But yeah, apart from that, man, nah, I don't really have anyone else.
Those dicks have to play by the rules because they're public figures now. Fuck, did you see that thing where they're licking the licking the juice of orange pash or whatever it was?
Oh yeah, that got blown out of proportion big time, eh? Oh my, people are crazy, man.
It got blown out of proportion, but when I looked at it, I was like, nah, that's pretty silly. When you think about it, licking something, in a shop and all that. I don't know. They got to be careful. Once you're in the public eye like that, Lily should have known better.
Yeah, man. I mean, as you probably get it as well. Like even me, just walking up to the grocery store, I get people saying hello to me all the time. Yeah. It's quite random. People talk to you and like speak to you about life experiences and like they know you. It's really interesting. Yeah, but weird, I mean, it's quite cool, but it's definitely strange. Yeah. It's not something I'd ever get used to. Nah,
it's strange. I was in Bunnings one day and I'm walking down, and there's Daryl. I'm like, what the fuck? Turn around, and there was this Indian bloke, and he's like, we watch the show every day, and da-da-da-da-da. And I'm like, he was talking to me with a confidence that I've known him for years. And I'm like, I've never met this dude in my life, but I just sort of switched into this, hey, guy. And then he brings over his wife, and they're like, oh, very pleased to meet you, and da-da. I'm like, oh my fucking God, this is weird. This is what it's like.
Well, you put yourself out there on TV, right? I guess like people kind of do start to know you. Yeah. That's the weird thing because you don't know these people, but they do know you. Like you do give a lot, especially like for someone like me who I gave a lot, I talked about stuff on TV that I don't talk about with many people and I expressed myself in ways that I haven't even expressed to friends before. Yeah. So for them people to get an insight of my life like that, I guess you sort of do break down all those barriers and walls and become a friend, so to speak.
It was cool to watch you guys in the first week that I was on, it didn't happen that often, but toward the end in Argentina, when probably halfway through, you guys obviously all became more comfortable in front of the cameras, you know. I would expect it from you, to be honest, but then some of the other guys, like Logan and a few of the other boys, they really just, the cameras weren't there anymore. You could see it, and you know, and that was quite cool. And for them to be able to talk about some of the things that they spoke about, you know, really opening up a bit there, that was good, and getting confrontational.
Well, that's the thing that a lot of males struggle with, right? Is just being able to like talk about their feelings and express how they're feeling that day and what's going on in their head. Like, it's not an easy thing to do, and to do it with cameras in front of you was such a challenge. But to be able to overcome that and show people, which was really cool. That was a lot of the positive messages that I got post show, is like people saying, mate, that speech about you saying how males should be able to talk about their feelings, and it's not easy, but it's the right thing to do, and we're all fine to do it, you know. I got a lot of praise for that, which was really nice, because it's a message that people need to hear. So that was cool. That was probably the most beneficial part of the show for me, is hearing people talk about how I spoke about my feelings, and giving people a platform to do so as well.
Seeing the guys communicate with each other the way they were is a positive thing too, because I think there's a lot of negativity surrounding men these days and the way we communicate with each other. We hang out in groups, and, you know, toxic masculinity, group hangouts and all that sort of stuff has been getting a bit of a bad rap, for, I don't believe, fairly. So it was good on the show to have some of the guys actually talking to each other and opening up a bit and forming those bonds and those friendships, you know, even though the show sort of encouraged the opposite, but they couldn't in the end, because there were some tight mateships happening there. Like you and Aaron.
Exactly.
You and Aaron, perfect. And, you know, you and Aaron ended up best mates.
Oh, shit. Yeah, me and Aaron are good, though. It's just a crazy time, eh? You just... Totally. I mean, watching back when I called him a rat and a loser, that was probably the toughest time watching back, I'd say, because I don't know. I mean, at the time I meant it, but again, it's such a heightened situation, so it's not stuff that I'd usually just rock out and say, but it's just the way it goes.
That's an interesting point, eh? Because for Aaron, you know, I wasn't a big fan of Aaron and his attitude toward just the way he conducted himself. You know, I thought he was the sort of guy who pulls people down to bring himself up, but when I say that, I also understand that he's got a past which dictates that. Anyway, so the way that a lot of people are is due to circumstance in the past. So he just needs some friends and some people to tell him the way it is in real life. So obviously he looked like a bit of a dork for a lot of, especially toward the second half of the show. And but for yourself, who had the confidence, and you actually not attacked him, but, you know, how was it?
It was a bit of an attack.
It was a bit of an attack.
It was a bit of an attack.
But it's also hard for people to see themselves acting in that way, to be aggressive, isn't it? Like you were saying before.
Yeah, it is. It is. But like, I mean, I didn't want to hold back from anything. No. I didn't not say anything because I'm like, shit, there's a camera there, which, I mean, probably was the smart thing to do. But I just wanted to sort of be myself, and that's what I stuck true to the whole time. And I mean, everyone's got bad parts of their personality, right? So, and it's a short experience. So for the girls to be able to see a full-rounded person, whether it be good or bad or whatever it may be, it's still good to give that representation of yourself.
One of the things I thought when all that situation happened, especially with you and him, I thought, actually, you know what? I think this is good for Aaron in a funny kind of way. I think Aaron needs to... He's going to learn a lot from this experience and the way that he conducted himself with people and what he did to throw people under the bus from time to time. And I honestly do think he'll learn from it and he'll come away from it with some positive feedback to himself and from other people, especially when you're watching it back. You can't escape it, man, when you're watching it, eh? You know? Yeah,
exactly. You can't escape it. And like you said, it's a very good point. Watching it back, whether it be good stuff, bad stuff, you do learn a lot about yourself, just looking at yourself. And it's quite weird watching yourself and being like, should I actually do this or I do that? Like, I laugh like a fucking hyena half the time, you know, and it kind of makes me conscious now when I'm in a group setting. I'll be laughing and I'm like, shit, I need to tone it down.
Nah, bro. Let it out, man. Laugh it up.
I do laugh a lot, though. But that's the thing. I looked a bit like I was taking the piss a lot of the time. But that is sort of how I live my life as well. So.
Yeah. Hey, bro, there's nothing wrong with that, man. We need more of that taking the piss out of one another, I think.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I'm a pretty open book. I've got a bit of a thick skin myself. So I need to consider people more that don't. But at the same time, I feel like people should just sort of let their barriers down and just not give a fuck so much. Don't
totally.
care about what you look like in the morning if you're going out to the supermarket. Just live life and have fun.
And that's what, tying it back into this whole COVID shit. It's like, well, it's a similar kind of thing because, stop worrying about everything. You know, stop being so sensitive.
Yeah.
You know, people are going to say things that may offend you, and it all depends. Are you going to let that affect you? Are you going to let that, work you up? Because I think we were in a society before this happened that everyone was just so fucking offended by everything. You know, everyone's just up in arms.
Very easily offended.
You said that about them, or you said that. What did you mean by you? I didn't mean anything. I was just maybe telling a joke, or maybe I just said something wrong. You know.
Yeah.
So it's going to be.
Agreed.
So I think this is a good time. You know, hopefully we can come out of this and be more thick-skinned and actually take a fucking joke. You know, if you can take a dick, you can take a joke. That's what I say. What? That's a funny idea, but
shit.
So what are you up to over the next few days, man? Before we get into 3.
Next couple of days, just a little bit more exercise.
Yeah.
I don't know, doing this, listening to this back and.
Yeah.
Being like, fuck, you sound like a retard, Jesse. I probably can't say that in 2020. Oh.
Say whatever the fuck you want, bro.
For that exact reason.
No, you got to do it, man. I dropped a
yeah,
retard in my other podcast yesterday. And I was like, yeah, sweet, I'm cool with that. Ain't nothing but a thing.
Yeah, I mean, it's not the intended meaning.
Yeah. That's the thing. I think a lot of it's like, what's the intention of what people say? You can tell when someone's being a prick, and when somebody's just, maybe in bad taste, being funny. You know. Yeah,
exactly.
That's what I like about podcasting.
Yeah, no, I was just going to say, just kind of, just working on a few things in the background, and then hopefully start delivering pizza and KFC next week. So if you live in the Birkenhead area or Glenfield area, I'll be rocking up at your doorstep with Pizza Hut or KFC if you're ordering it, which would be pretty fun.
Nice.
Got to wear a mask though.
True, you got a mask.
What are you going to get up to?
It's my birthday tomorrow. Yeah.
Oh, happy birthday for tomorrow.
Bro.
How old?
41. 41, bro.
Holy
so
heck.
Weird.
You're going to be 50 in 9 years. That's
fuck
crazy.
Up, Jesse. My missus says the same thing. I'm like, shut the fuck up. Oh, man. It's,
holy shit.
That's weird, man.
Half a century.
No,
Wow.
I'm 41. I'm not. I'm miles away from it.
2 quarter centuries edited. Wow, that's crazy.
No matter which way you look at it, I'm old.
Hey mate, you look good for almost 50 years old.
What? I'm not almost 50. Shut the fuck up. I'm 4 decades through. Man, I'm can't wait to get back to the gym though. Eh? Oh man.
Oh
this
yeah,
is
I bet.
Me, man.
I
this
bet.
is killing me. But birthday tomorrow, so have an isolation party. Might just sit down, have a few whiskey sours, and just chilling out. But apart from that, I'm just
a few virtual drinks with some friends.
Yeah, might do. I haven't really ventured much into that. Although it was interesting the other week, I got a call from my cousins, which is really random. I'm like, what the fuck are they calling me for? And then it was a group chat like this over Zoom, and it was cool. I'm like, why didn't we do this more often? Like there were 6 of us.
Exactly. And when was the last time you caught up with your cousins?
Oh, hardly ever. Funerals, weddings, maybe the odd Christmas party, but hardly ever. And it was it opened my eyes to this is awesome. We can totally catch up properly like this. You know, and I think if we do more of this sort of stuff, then we'll probably arrange to catch up in real life more as well. So, yeah, that's an interesting one. So, yeah, I might do a little bit of a Zoom chat with some of the cousins or the friends or whatever, and just have some virtual drinks, and we'll see how we go. But no, it should be fun.
Nice one.
Yeah.
Sweet. Oh, happy birthday for tomorrow.
Cheers, bro.
Sorry, I didn't mean to call you old.
No, it's all right, bro. I am old, man. I'll take that.
Yeah,
I'll take that. When I was on the show and I realized how old some of you guys were, I was like, what the fuck am I doing? This is so weird.
I know, that's the age difference. It ranged from 20 to 38. Oh, no, 20 to 40
technically, but I lied about my age. But Brendan was a genuine contestant. He was 38.
Yeah, he was 38. So, yeah, it was a massive age range. That's why when it was just Lucina, I was like, what the fuck? Why am I here? She's 32. Yeah. She's a doctor. I'm technically a ski bum at the moment over in Whistler. Yeah. It's like, why the hell am I here? And then when Lily came on, it made a whole lot more sense.
Oh, the excitement in your guys' eyes when she came out, eh? You and Terrence.
Well, I was going to leave. I was going to leave the show. I messaged my mum, which you're not meant to do, and I said, I was like, I'm probably going to be home pretty soon.
Really?
Because I was like, what the heck am I doing here?
Yeah.
I got stitched up. I got told that I was going to be a good fit for this Bachelorette, and I rock up and get inside on the first night, and someone's like, she's a 32-year-old doctor, and I'm like, well, she is going to love me then.
Yeah. I am on the wrong side of it. How old are you? 25?
Yeah. 24. 24.
Yeah, nah, weird.
Yeah.
Probably the only ones there that were probably within an age range for someone like her would have been Steve at 35 or Brendan at 38. Yeah. I can't think if anyone else was.
I mean, Aaron was still pretty young for her. Like, he's 27. He was 27.
way too young. No chance.
I mean, Logan was 32, so I guess that was bang on the money age-wise.
Yeah. Yeah, it's weird, eh? It's weird. It didn't make any sense. And then the guy's like, who was the youngest one? Young Flynn.
20.
20. He was 19 when he signed up.
Poor boy was so confused.
He was so confused. Bless his heart.
I love that he still gave it a crack though. I mean, he was still willing to give it a go.
He was just there for the ride. He was totally just tailing along. Whatever.
Oh, Flynn Diesel. Great dude.
He's a good boy. Jesse, man, cheers, bro. I think we'll wrap it up there. We've hit the hour. So,
oh, nice one, brother.
No, man, this was awesome.
Hour goes quickly, doing this stuff.
It goes fast, bro. It goes even quicker when you're in real life. It's like sitting there having a few beers. I'll get you, because I wanted to get you and the young Mike with the graver eyebrows. I want to get you guys in still in the studio. McDreamy. I'll get you guys in again.
Yeah, definitely.
I'll do some more of the group.
Count us in for sure.
What's that?
It's definitely cool that we can do it remotely, but it's quite hard, because like I can hear myself talking over you a little bit because you got that sort of delay and processing times and stuff like that. But I mean, it is what it is.
It's not too bad actually.
It's been fun.
It's okay. Like, I thought it'd be a lot worse, but it's actually turning out to be all right. But now
the fact that we can even just like get this out is pretty freaking incredible, you know. Pretty crazy. That's epic.
But
yeah.
No, cheers, bro.
Cheers for having me, brother.
No worries, man.
We'll catch up soon once we can. A few beersies, I'm sure.
We'll do it again soon. I might get you and Lily on at some stage so you guys can divulge in what exactly you guys are up to as well.
Ooh, yeah. We'll have more of a story to tell then as well, which will be pretty cool. Very exciting.
Cheers, bro.
All right, brother. Peace.